travesty here. This is terrible. Look, this guy Augustus acted like a clown tonight, but he also acted like a fighter. He also fought like a fighter, and he won this damn fight.
Okay. How you doing, everyone? My name is Ryan and this is Ade, and welcome back to another edition of Boxtalk. Tired and hungover, both of us.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, both at different parties last night.
Yes.
But no matter what, we're going to give you the show like always. It's time for This Week in Boxing. We'll give you the news, reviews of everything from the past week. Let's start with a few results from last night. In America, Omar Naves, former two-weight world champion, won a 10-round decision.
What weight's he Naves at now?
That's a very good question.
Yeah, I'll try and find out and put it down because I'm trying to think where he goes, basically.
Where he goes, yeah. Getting on though.
He's getting on, but he's still a name for someone upcoming, isn't he?
We also had Linares fought last night as well. Got a 4th round KO. Yeah,
that's the person that unfortunately broke Kevin Mitchell fans' hearts. When was that fight? I'm trying to think when that fight was to Kevin Mitchell.
Summer.
Was it the summer, yeah?
Yeah, summer, yeah.
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround.
Quite a quick turnaround, yeah, that was a grueling fight. I think the fight was in Venezuela.
Yes, I think it was almost like a home fight.
Like a homecoming. You know, now that Linares has had a fight and Kevin Mitchell should be fighting shortly, hopefully get an announcement soon. Possibly down the line, you might get something back. That fight was fan friendly. They'll definitely put the money down for a rematch.
Don't know if it deserves a rematch.
It's a great fight.
It was a great fight, but I don't know, I can see Linares doing that again. I can see him doing that again, do you know what I mean? I was watching that fight thinking, any time here that Kevin Mitchell could, I know he put...
It was like the best Kevin Mitchell.
Yeah. And can we rise to that occasion again? I just feel like going there's other routes now. Yeah. One of them could be someone we're going to talk about later.
Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about that in a minute. Let's go with the UK. We had a few fights in the UK last night on the Frank Warren bill. Quickly, briefly.
Lee Markham won, didn't he?
Lee Markham won, yeah.
After that draw with Buglioni, so it's a win for him, puts him back in the picture again.
Yeah.
Tom Stalker got a draw. Yeah.
Controversial draw.
I'm not sure with Stalker because look, he was with Matchroom.
Yeah.
I know he had injuries. He had quite a few injuries, but he turned over late. He was the oldest man in that sort of Olympic team. Turned over late. Matchroom weren't too sure about him. I thought, okay, look, new team. I know he's with the MJ and Marbella a lot as well, so he gets a good sparring. Let's see what he does with Frank Warren. I don't know if he's going to kick on to where I thought he was going to go. I thought this guy could go real high, but I'm not convinced he will.
Yeah. The thing about to take controversial draw, and yes, it was a controversial fight. It was a close fight. I mean, I've got messages on my phone for people watching the fight saying, "Oh, I had it this way, I had it that way." Yeah. And sometimes I hate when you got a good fight or a close fight. They had to put controversial in it. It was just a close fight.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say?
And sometimes people do like to add that controversial.
Yeah.
Like Ophil's really milking it.
Yeah.
Controversial. They robbed me and wherever they robbed.
Yeah, it wasn't really controversial. It was just a close fight. It was just a hard to score fight or a fight that's well matched. It's different.
Yeah. No, agreed.
All right. Let's go with the main cards, and let's go first with Liam Smith.
Your boy.
My boy.
Your boy.
First of all, John Thompson, good performance, give him credit. He came to fight, he came to win, didn't lay down.
Until we laid down.
Yeah, until he got laid down.
Hard.
People saying that, a lot of people saying, especially the commentators, like, he's out boxing Smith and he's getting there and he's doing this and Smith needs to do this and he needs to make a comeback. And it did seem that way for the first 5 rounds. But when someone's throwing so much punches and keeping so much range, so much distance, yes, Smith is losing, but he always had that high guard. None of the punches were really getting in hard or landing clean shots. Smith didn't have a bruise on his face. Yeah. Sometimes people are throwing that work rate. They got to maintain it for 12 rounds. No matter what you done in the first 5 rounds or 6 rounds, you got to do it for 12. Smith stopped that, knocked him out. So as much as he was winning, he was doing this, he didn't.
Yeah, you're right. He didn't, but he was.
Yeah.
I say for the first 2 or 3. I wouldn't go as far as the 5 or 6. I say for the first 2 or 3. I think boxing lessons are a strong word. I'm not going to say that at all. But he was awkward. He had that long reach. He was taller. And it was an awkward. Smith can't be more than 5'8", 5'9". Yeah. There was a big difference in the height in that fight. I think it's just an awkward. And sometimes it it takes some fighters a bit of time to work out the style and the rhythm of someone. You know what I mean? We always say when Mayweather works it out, you're in trouble. You know what I mean? And I think Smith's like that as well. It's like, okay, what you got? Let's see openings. And I think as soon as he caught him, that was the end of the night.
As soon as he found the opening, it was over.
Yeah, and
I mean,
I didn't know he packed that much of a punch. If I'm honest with you, I mean, we was doing our predictions, and we both said, and you more than me said he's a good boxer on the inside and the outside. One thing we didn't talk about really was his power.
Yeah.
And boy, does he have a bit of punch power. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what they're eating in Gallagher's gym, but he has a bit of punch power, and that was impressive.
You know when you find the opening, and it's like, I could get that shot in. Once he found the opening, every shot he threw landed.
Yeah, every shot was with bad intentions.
I mean,
who's that again? Bad intentions.
Jermaine Taylor. Yeah. Round 6. You know you have like a turnaround fight.
Yeah.
Turnaround round. It was basically over. Yeah. I mean, he gave Thompson a good beating and literally chased him round the ring. Like, I was surprised Thompson stayed on his feet.
It generally was saved by the belt.
Yeah, he got a good chin. He's got a very good chin. Those shots were clean and like they were right down the middle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, yeah, very good win. He's a world champion now. First at the Smith brothers. It wasn't the performance we wanted.
He called out Mosley.
That's just a man.
He said Mosley's calling out K9, which is a bit strange anyway. After K9 just got smoked, he said Mosley should be calling out me. I'm the world champion, kind of thing. But he's basically now said he wants to go to America and win it that way. You know, which I commend.
Yeah.
You know, he basically knows all the big 154 guys are in America, and it'll be hard for Frank to really get any of those over here. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to offer them more money than, even if it's for a world title, you're not going to offer them more than they can make in America. So I like the fact that he said, I've got to go over there now and prove myself, which is good. But he definitely puts him in that mix of the guys I was talking about. Although I would still like to see him fight on the fringes of that for the next couple of fights and then jump into that. But, you know, regardless, he is the first Smith brother to win a world title. And I'm more happy for Frank, to be honest, because he's having to start it the hard way now. He's having to make world champions. Whereas Matchroom for the last few years have taken some of Frank's guys, which are ready-made fighters. He's having to make them, so plaudits.
No, definitely. I think the performance we got from Smith was a very, very good performance. Not a performance some wanted, because like I said, people did say and felt that he was losing early. But I think it showed what I was saying, that he's got levels, and he's definitely in the mix at 154.
Although Thompson isn't over. Just put it out.
I think Thompson made a good account for himself.
No, he did. He did.
A very good account for himself.
He did. I'm just saying that he didn't beat.
He's not a marquee name.
Yeah.
He's not a marquee name.
Yeah. I mean, even us, let's be honest, Rayson, we're avid boxing fans. We weren't thinking, I know that kid Thompson. He's the guy that beat the guy that beat the guy. You know what I mean?
Nah, true.
Just saying that.
True. Okay, let's go with the main event.
Where's my humble pie? I'm looking for my humble pie everywhere and I can't find any.
I think you won't find any boxing fan,
that's it,
that will said Turbo.
Yeah, we'll knock him out easy fight.
Knock him out easy in 2 rounds.
Yeah, not one. Not even Turbo's camp.
Not even easy. Annihilated him.
Bloody hell.
Annihilated him. He made a statement. Yeah, and we said as well that winning that world title, kind of controversial. He won't feel like a champion. He didn't feel like he done this, he done that. Right now, he feels king of the world.
All the comments under our video for this, and we put the video up late, so it hasn't got a huge amount of comments, but regardless, all of them said, Smith's going to win. Flanagan, not sure. All of them. No, I think one said he'll win, but said, my heart says, you know what I mean, Flanagan, but I really think Diego's going to win. There's a way to win a title, and there's a way to win a title. This kid said, like, I'm going to emphatically destroy you. There's something about him that is very, very mean. He's got this kind of mean-looking streak to him where Crawler will outbox you, it'll be nice, and it'll go to point. This kid's got an old kind of Derry Matthews about him where it's just, I'm going to hurt you. And that was just vicious. From round 1 on, vicious.
You want to fight? I give you a fight.
Yeah.
That's the mentality.
Hard-nosed, tough, gritty, and throwback Ricky Hatton kind of, let's fight.
And the hand speed.
Shocked me.
The hand speed.
Shocked me.
Come on now. Like, okay, it was a good stoppage, but the referee could have stopped it a little bit earlier if he wanted to. I mean, he was lacing him.
You know what I
think? Him completely.
I think the reason that not we, because we've kind of given him plaudits to be fair, but I think the reason that he's considered number 4 or 5 in Britain, the only reason really is because one fights on RocNation, the other fights on Sky.
Yeah.
The others have the bigger platform. So everyone knows who those guys are. So you line all 5 of them up on the street, i.e. Derry, Luke, Kevin Mitchell, Crawler, and the rest of them, and you ask who's the best. Oh, I know him, I don't know him. And that's purely because he hasn't got the push yet.
That's the benefit of matching what they do with the bumper cards.
Yeah.
I.e. you put a marquee name that, okay, let's say for example, everyone likes Anthony Joshua. So you put Anthony Joshua on the card and you put all the matching guys on the same card.
Yes.
So now the general fans who know Anthony Joshua knows the whole of the matching stable.
Agreed.
Whereas Frank Warren obviously doesn't have that resource to do fights like that. So when he has Flanagan as a main event, people that don't know boxing or don't follow it as much as hardcore fans do say, oh, I don't know Terry Flanagan.
And that's the thing now. But right now, as it stands, as much as I still think Crawler's the best, I still think that for some reason. Right now,
you have to rank Flanagan higher.
I rank him higher because at the end of the day, he's got the world title. These guys have had their chances and they've not got them. This guy said, okay, give me my chance, and bang. Ridiculous. Bang.
Again, I know you like Crawler, and Crawler could obviously have a tear up when he wants to have a tear up, but would you really think he wants to tear up right now with Flanagan after last night? I don't think that type of performance, I don't think no one would willingly want to say, I'll take that fight right now.
Mitchell would.
No, they will take it, but they're not willingly.
I think Mitchell would.
Or just offer it right now.
Mitchell. Oh, Derry Matthews would all day. I think Derry Matthews would lose. But he'd have that scrap.
That's the type of forms where people will say, yeah, I'll fight him, but I could take another route if I had.
The only other difference, apart from Luke Campbell, all those guys are very, very much battle scarred. They've had their tough fights. All of them have had their tough fights where they've gone rounds. Especially Mitchell. He's had so many tough fights. Derry Matthews as well has had so many tough fights. Crawler's had the tough fights, not just the tough fights, but Crawler's had the outside the ring injuries as well.
How long ago that bloody Mitchell versus
Mitchell had one fight against a kid called
what's
he had a tough fight against a kid, I think it was Daryl something Johnson on the undercard. I can't remember his name. Johansson. This is on the undercard of Enzo versus David Hay. That's so many years ago. That was a brutal fight. So in terms of being battle scarred, in terms of who's going to go to the future, it's obviously Flanagan. The rest are just literally trying to win a world title until we've won one. And he's done that. Well done, Flannel.
Let's leave it at that. Okay, let's start with the news and let's just have a quick recap on last week. Last week, Showtime and HBO both ran shows head to head. And that was the fights for Adrian Broner versus in his world title win. Can't remember the guy's name properly. And obviously Postal versus Matisse. Reportedly both numbers are very, very low. Obviously this counter programming thing's coming back round again. Obviously it's on Showtime, but it's an Al Heyman show. PBC obviously trying to match and push off everyone else. With boxing's current growth in America, do you really have to counter program?
What do you mean with its current growth? Do you mean PBC's how it's growing?
Yeah, PBC's putting on shows on Wednesday nights, they're putting shows on Fridays, they're putting shows on Saturdays, they even put shows on Sundays. When you got that type of, before boxing was strictly stuck on a Saturday night, now it's being shown on 4, maybe 5 days a week. Why match up? You know what I'm trying to say?
I don't necessarily think it's on purpose anymore. Do you 100% think they look at it and think we have to kill him?
I think it's on purpose. I think it's on purpose. Al Heyman's done this counter program stuff loads of times to loads of other promoters, loads of fights for years. HBO and Showtime always had their beef and done it to each other for years. They do it. From Warren, Eddie Hearn's done it.
I remember they done one with Channel 5, Sky and ITV.
Exactly. They always do it, and I'm trying to say, because it hurts boxing. I'm just saying that now we're having multiple platforms to promote the sport. Why do that when you're killing the numbers?
No, it is silly. If that's what it is in terms of trying to knock each other off, it's silly because, to me, regardless of what channel it's on, boxing grows if boxing's on TV. So trying to kill your competition off when you don't necessarily need to, just build your stars and people will watch, it's a bit stupid.
In America, obviously there were fights around the world, but in America last night there was no marquee. There was fights in America where there was no marquee event. I know. So you could easily put one of those fights last week on this weekend. It wouldn't have hurt promotion, it wouldn't hurt ticket sales, it wouldn't have hurt the training camps. Everyone could have exactly what he wanted to do 1 week later. Pacquiao.
Yes.
Spoke to God.
No, don't know the way you said that. What do you mean spoke to God? Yes, you can pray. I go to church sometimes. What do you mean spoke to? Where you started that? Spoke to God? I'm speaking to you.
I'm telling you what
What God spoke back to him, yeah? What did God say anyway?
Pacquiao spoke to God. I didn't say nothing about religion. Look, I ain't playing with God, you know.
I'm about to say.
About Heyman.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. Alright. Spoke to God and said it's time to retire.
Yes.
In the same week, he announced that he wants to run for Senate in the Philippines.
Yes.
Obviously, people are saying that he's going to have one more fight. Is it worth Pacquiao coming back?
Yes. And the reason I believe it is worth it, as much as he made 70 or 80 million for that Mayweather fight, it's around that, it's not anything more than that. We knew the issue he had with his tax charges before that fight.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that money went straight away, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know what Pacquiao...
Remember, actually froze his assets completely.
There you go. So I don't know what accountant Pacquiao's had for the last 7 years, but he needs to get sacked, fired, in jail, sued.
He sued their account. There was a big thing. There's a company that was doing it, and he had another company that sued them, obviously for malpractice.
And you think of how many marquee fights and how big he was at one stage.
Yeah.
How this kid does not have 300 million in the bank account, I do not know. Yeah. So if you're running for Senate in Philippines, yes, it's not like running for Senate in America or England, but you're doing a bit of money.
Yeah.
And I feel like if he gets one more fight, 20 million, and he probably will get that. No, that's too high actually.
And I know for a fact that Pacquiao's asked for advances from Bob Arum for paydays previously.
There you go.
Yeah. So that obviously you're spending what you got.
There you go. So if he can get one more fight, and again, rumours. It was supposed to be Matisse, which would have been a good one. Khan. Yeah. If he can get 10 to 15, stretching 20 million for a last fight, he's got to take that because he's going to need it. I feel like it's almost like we laugh, or they laughed at Mayweather in terms of Mayweather, running his own show. And he used to always say this, Mayweather Promotion, this is me. You got Pacquiao, and you don't see Pacquiao Promotions.
No, he doesn't.
You don't see anything like, no hats, no brand, no endorsements. You think, what's happened? You were Pac-Man. How do you not have all this? How do you not have all this stuff? You know what I mean? But I don't know.
I think a lot of us don't have it. Mayweather's put the game on notice that you need to do more.
Big time.
And that's a fact. Much if you like him or don't like him, you got to give Mayweather credit for what he
say, look guys, this is what can be achieved. Because if someone started at the beginning and they said, okay, Mayweather and Pacquiao, Mayweather's kind of showman, who's going to have more money at the end of the career? You'll all say Pacquiao all day. You'll say Mayweather's going to lose it, he's going to do this.
Wasted and this and that.
Look.
The word's infrastructure. You've got to have something.
Yeah.
Did you notice how big Andy Lee was to Billy Joe Saunders last night?
Yes. Yeah.
Seriously, it looks like Billy Joe Saunders. Okay, we've met Billy Joe Saunders loads of times. He's a fixed set guy. But it really looks like Billy Joe Saunders could be 154, and Andy Lee could be again like 168.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know about body chemistry and all the bone structure of someone, so I don't know how hard it is for him to make 154. But I look at him at 1.6 and I think, you're tiny. Yeah. 160. No, honestly, you're a tiny guy. I like to see him next to Liam Smith because they look kind of the same kind of structure. Andy Lee looks like I'm a 175 guy coming down to fight you, and Billy Joe Saunders looks like I'm a 154 guy that's going to eat to fight you.
As much as Andy Lee is the bigger guy, and he was clearly bigger, Andy actually looked in shape. Billy Joe Saunders didn't really look in shape. The fight's now being rescheduled for December 16th.
December something, I can't remember. Something along that line.
So obviously there's a good 10 weeks before to get into shape. But based on just looking at observations, I think I might have to make Andy a favourite.
Oh, it was favourite for me anyway. I don't like... Look, I get how injuries occur and how fighters blow up in between things. To me, if this is your profession, you stay in shape year round.
All round,
Oval McKenzie kind of style for me. There's no reason for you to have to say, I'm going to go down from one... He looks about 190. I'd say right now, 180, 190. Looks a big guy.
180, 190.
Whereas Andy Lee just looks like, almost a Carl Froch kind of build, where that's just my weight.
Yeah, I think maybe 170.
Yeah, I don't like guys training to lose weight. I think you should be training to get your fundamentals right, not training to lose weight.
Yeah. If the average Joe that works 9 to 5, has got 3 kids, can make it to the gym 3 times a week and stay in decent condition, a professional athlete should.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So I like Saunders. I think Saunders got skill. I think he's very, very talented and he puts it together well. And I think he's the one on the up. Andy Lee is kind of old news in terms of, obviously, let's go back to the Crump days and Emmanuel Stewart and changing this trainer and changing that trainer and the losses. So Andy Lee's come to the end of his career. So I always thought Billy Joe had something to give, but it might be a step too far right now, especially with the long layoff.
And let's not forget as well, Andy Lee's boxed at 154.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. I don't know how on earth some of these people make this weight.
Yeah, same man.
Jeez.
Do not now. Do not know. All right then. Frankie Gavin's out with injuries.
He said he got run over.
I didn't.
Have you not heard that? No. He said, I got run over a couple of weeks ago, and I've tried to basically nurse the injury. I'm thinking, what?
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah. I just feel like even if it was a niggle, almost this is similar to the Klitschko Fury situation for me. Even if it was a niggle, this fight is so big for Frankie Gavin. Unless you're 110%,
yeah,
I don't think you can take the risk against Eggington.
No,
I know everyone lets this fight is going with injuries, and I get that, but I think he's got in his mindset got to feel like I'm perfect right now. Because I think that was a 50-50 fight for me, and it's a career-ending fight if he loses.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Eggington's definitely on the up.
Big
and
time.
Definitely has got serious talent and ability. Frankie Gavin, as talented as he is, he's not really living up to the hype.
Yeah.
You had the Bundu fight, which yes, it was close, but it's still a loss.
Yeah.
You had the Bradley Skeet fight. Yes, he won, but a lot of people said you lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he had one warm-up fight in between that was didn't really.
Yeah, that was kind of his welcome to Matchroom fight.
And it didn't really set the world on fire. Then he lost to Kell Brook.
Yeah.
So like if he loses now, that'll be I really hate when you've got talented boxers that don't fit their potential. And it's boxing, it's the nature of the beast. Everyone can't be number one. But Frankie Gavin's really got skill, but he just doesn't transcend.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a tough one with Frankie. I don't know what you do. Like you're saying that, especially after the Kell Brook loss more than anything. It's almost like you got that chance when people didn't really think you should have that chance.
Yeah.
And sometimes people say, okay, you got to take your chances.
Yeah.
And in that fight, it was okay for stage, but it's almost a case of, okay, Brook, put the pedal to the metal, so to speak. And just kind of got him out there. He needs a win big time.
Yeah.
I don't even think an Eggington win puts him back in anywhere. It builds momentum. That's all it does.
Yeah, it builds momentum because it's a crossroads fight. Whereas if Eggington wins, it makes Eggington like marquee. But if Frankie Gavin wins, he just says, "Oh, I'm still relevant."
Yeah, you should have won. Yeah. So yeah, I can understand why. If it's an injury that even might be okay, you've got to be 100% right for that fight.
All right then. I'm not gonna stay too long on this subject. But as I predicted, Deontay Wilder wants to have another voluntary before he fights Povetkin, and it looks like it's going to be going ahead possibly December or January, and it was Brian Jennings. In theory, it's a good fight. Brian Jennings is a legit top 10. Yeah.
I don't know if he's legit top 10.
I think he's legit top 10.
I'm not sure he's legit top 10.
Yeah. And you can't really fault the matchup if the fight was going ahead. But what I'm gonna say, and people are gonna say I'm being a hater now, is that a world champion should not be fighting someone coming off a loss. He does not want to fight Povetkin, mate.
Yeah, no, look, you're right. I'm gonna give him a slight lie because Povetkin's loss, Brian Jennings' loss was against Klitschko.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. It wasn't like it was a knockout defeat. It was a point decision where Jennings for some reason thought he won the fight.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's watched the fight again a few times. Didn't win that fight, Jennings. I don't know.
Because
he came out and he started showing pictures of him getting a jab in, okay, you hit Klitschko, I get that, but you didn't win the fight. So I give him a bit of a blight. Look, it's a huge step up from what he's been fighting recently.
Yeah.
Huge. So, and that's in fact, it's not a huge step up. It could be his biggest name. I think he's higher ranked than Stavern. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, Stavern's lost his rank.
Yeah, because he hasn't fought since. Yeah, so it's a big step up. And Brian Jennings will look like him and think, wait a minute, I've got a chance against you. I just went in there with Klitschko and put on a good performance. You've been fighting nobodies. My last fight was against the pound for pound number one. Yeah. So you never know, but I know what you mean. He should be fighting a guy on. But look, would you prefer him then to fight someone like? What's the bigger name for you then from fighting someone like Luis Ortiz or Brian Jennings?
I'd rather Luis Ortiz.
Really? Yeah. I think Jennings is better.
No.
So I know what you mean. One's going off a loss, but I think Jennings is ranked higher.
I think Jennings got more momentum. Obviously, he's American. He fought Klitschko.
Yeah.
I'm trying to kind of push him, but I think Luis Ortiz is definitely a dark horse in the division. But I'm saying that again. This is not me talking about Wilder particularly, but I don't think any world champion should fight a guy coming off his loss.
No, I agree.
I said the same thing about when Mayweather fought Zab Judah. Zab Judah lost to Baldomir. You shouldn't be fighting him for a world title.
I get you.
You know what I mean? Martin Murray versus Arthur Abrahams.
Forgot all about that. Yeah.
Signed.
I said this about 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah.
I think it was talking
that was the direction.
Yeah, that's the guy direction.
Good fight for Murray. Abraham's definitely slipping, but it's actually a 50-50 fight.
I'd go slight Abraham favourite if I was.
Yeah.
I'd go slight Abraham favourite. You know what they do? I don't like how they. There's this thing now. Pick out the weak champion.
Yeah.
I just want that world title. I want to be a world champion. Give me the weakest champion in the division, or the so-called weakest champion, and that's my target. And look, I'm all in favour of winning a world title, but there's something about winning a world title and getting applauded because you've beaten the toughest son of a beat in there.
Yeah.
Or am I just going to win a world title and fight the... Do you know what I mean, Ryan? You get more plaudits. Look, Carl Froch is never going to get more plaudits than when he lost to Ward and then said, "No, give me Butte."
Yeah.
Give me the guy supposed to be number one.
Yeah.
And when you beat that guy, you think, yes, I've done something. And that's how that fight alone propelled Carl Froch from there to there.
Yeah.
These guys are saying, give me the easiest. I want to win a title. Yeah. And I want to say I want to win. And I don't like that. I don't know why. Look, I'm not going against Murray because, well, you know I like Murray a lot, but I don't like that. I don't like picking up the easiest.
So the problem with Martin Murray in this fight, Martin Murray always seems to fight to the person's level. Whereas Abraham fights at a relatively slow pace.
Yeah.
So Murray's gonna fight at a slow pace with him.
Yeah, I get you.
When Murray fought Sturm, and Sturm started to get into a little bit of tear up, then Murray fought in a bit of a tear up.
Yeah.
And it made the fight close. If he fights at Abraham's level and at Abraham's pace, he loses.
People might say, he deserves it because what he done at 160.
Yeah.
This is 168.
Yeah.
It's a different weight class for me. You've got to kind of prove yourself at that weight class. Another thing for me is the problem that happens is when you fight the weakest champion, and you know you said it's the last chance saloon, it is because you fight the weakest and you lose. Say that could happen. It's 50-50 fight, it could happen. Then what? Say you said, okay, let me fight Ward, and you lost a close decision to Ward. It's like, well, I lost to Ward, give me Badu. And then after if I lose to Badu, give me Abraham. Do you know what I mean? You start from the bottom, and then, after that you go European level. Do you know what I mean? You put yourself in a tough position, and that's my problem.
I think as well, people also forgot as well, I think everyone looks at the first Abraham's fight with Smith and think, oh, Abraham's beatable. Because Abraham was pissing about for the first 5-6 rounds. When Abrahams came back in the rematch, Abraham was on point.
Point. I didn't give Smith a couple of rounds in that.
And you can say, oh, Abraham's getting older, long in the tooth, whatever I'm trying to say, Abraham's still, regardless if he's the weakest champion, he's still a legit top 5 super middle in the world. Abraham's been top 10 ranked at middleweight and super middleweight for the past 10 years. That's a seasoned pro. You don't get much more experience or much more credibility than being a top 10 ranked fighter and a world champion in 2 weight classes for 10 years.
I just don't think. I saw it announced this week, and I saw a few people on Twitter immediately like, "Oh yeah, Murray, this is it." It's not going to be that easy. Look, are we saying that Murray's going to lose? No. Abraham's favourite because he's at home and he's a seasoned vet, and he's naturally now at this weight class. Let's just see.
It's definitely a points decision.
This is it.
Definitely a points decision.
We'll see.
Okay, this story's got 2 tiers, so give me a chance to explain. So let's start. Chris Eubank is going to be fighting Tony Jetta on the Matchroom card in a few weeks, and they're saying that potentially they're trying to set up for Eubank to fight Spike O'Sullivan for the December card with Anthony Joshua and Dillian White.
Okay.
It's now been announced officially that Klitschko Fury is on Sky Sports pay-per-view, which is at the end of November.
28th. 28th or 20? 28th.
And now the Kell Brook Diego Chaz fight is now on Sky Sports 1.
Not a pay-per-view.
Not a pay-per-view.
Okay.
Does the Spike O'Sullivan fight happen without pay-per-view for December?
Without pay-per-view money?
Yeah.
I believe it does. Yeah. I mean, look, neither are world champions.
Neither are world champions.
I mean, don't get me wrong. This helps Eubank. As much as we like Eubank, he needs to get out there a bit more. Yes, he's a marquee name, but to be on the undercard of a Joshua fight takes him to new boundaries. And I think I don't think Spike's big money. I don't, he's not a fighter you're bringing over from the States or anything like that. He's just a fighter in Ireland that you can bring over for relatively low money. I'm not low money like that, but he's not. Look, this guy got beat by Billy Joe Saunders a few years ago. He's not this.
Remember, Spike's been fighting with PBC.
He has been. Yes,
so he's getting paid. He's getting paid. Remember, there's no word right now if the Dillian White card is going to be a pay-per-view because obviously Klitschko fight's there.
Can't be.
The whole pound of this pay-per-view thing was beforehand was to have the AJ becoming the pay-per-view star and building up his brand, making AJ run the show. But everyone was saying previously that this is not a pay-per-view card, Dillian White versus AJ. adding Eubank Jr. to another prospect in Spike of Someone who's got quite a bit of hype since the Billy Joe Saunders loss, yeah, and move forward, it sounds more pleasing to the card. I'm saying that with Eubank's name, and some of the pay-per-views, some of the main events we've had this year, Eubank, Sparkle Sullivan could easily main event a card.
Yeah, but you know,
maybe not be a sellout, but you know, it could main event a card.
I think earlier in the program we spoke about the benefit of being on the undercard of an AJ fight. And this is the benefit. I think he looks at Eubank Jr. as already, might sound a bit extreme to someone, already for me he's a top 5 fighter under Matchroom stable in terms of where he could go in terms of publicity. You get him on the undercard of an AJ fight and this guy could go like that. Especially if it's, say he destroys Spike O'Sullivan on the undercard of an AJ fight. I mean, the world is your oyster at 160, do you know what I mean? So I feel like you've got to get him on there. I'm shocked a bit though with Sky. I mean, we spoke about it last week, and ITV versus Sky to get the Fury Klitschko fight. And if I'm Matchroom and I'm Sky, unless they've signed some sort of deal with Fury where his next 7 fights are with Sky, because I don't know what he's doing to be honest, that's the only reason I'd get him on. If not, I'm kind of feel like, are you neglecting to push AJ on pay-per-view to have Fury Klitschko, if that makes any sense? AJ is your eventual superstar. Do you know what I mean? So why not push him as hard as you can? Why push 2 guys or get the money from 2 guys that they're not your product? They're not yours.
Okay, but one, the AJ Dillian White is not pay-per-view as far as
Agreed.
Not pay-per-view. I understand you want to push your star, but you got to look at the levels in boxing. Right now, Fury Klitschko is. Fury Klitschko for most of the past years been everyone's to-do list. Everyone wants to see that fight. It's a good fight to have. It's entertaining. That's what we want. Dillian White and Joshua.
It's a free fight, you know.
But by all accounts, by people in the business and by boxing fans and by yourself, what you've said, it's not going to last more than 2-3 rounds.
I don't think so.
Yeah, people in the industry, people we know are saying, guess what? Someone's going to get beat up quickly.
Yeah.
If that's the general consensus going in, you can't sell it as a pay-per-view. Where Klitschko Fury, regardless who you like or you don't like, is a very good fight.
No, all I'm saying is Matchroom and Sky are like this, and I'm thinking their product really is AJ. Their product isn't Tyson Fury, so I'm thinking you're pushing Klitschko Fury, which look, boxing's boxing regardless, but you're pushing Klitschko Fury, but after this fight, Fury isn't fighting for Sky again, or is he? That's the question.
I get your point. There should be some long-term deal something in place. What will mostly happen is that they put their Klitschko Fury fight on repeat as part of the AJ card, and put that fight on, if they could, before the AJ fight, saying this is where AJ's going. Talking about Chris Eubank, you hear that beef with him and James Degale?
Yeah, it's just a bit like, I beat you in sparring several years ago, so wait a minute, that means I'm a better boxer than you because sparring means so much to me. It's just silly now. This beating people in sparring, and a lot of people said it. Someone even said ridiculous on one of our things that George Groves knocked down Golovkin in sparring.
I didn't hear about that.
What? Didn't hear about that? Yeah, come on. I'm not having this thing.
You know, the thing about sparring though, I think boxing in general has lost its respect. Sparring should be quiet. I'm trying to say, what happens in sparring stays in sparring. Kind of like that old Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Sparring is there for you to learn and to pick up and to adapt. We've been to many sparring sessions and we know we keep our mouth shut. But guys, we can keep up stories that we've seen in sparring, but we don't.
Boy, unless you got good money, I can reveal some stuff.
And we've heard some real good stories about stuff in sparring.
Oh my god. Couple of big ones.
Yeah, exactly. But you keep on. It's quiet. It's not something you revered. Carl Froch's done it. I knocked George Groves down in sparring. Eubanks are doing it. People are doing this thing a lot now. It's like,
Sparring's supposed to be 2 guys helping each other out.
Thank you.
To get to, and now it's almost like, well, let me use what I learned against you to set up poor. You know what I mean? It's so poor.
Also this week we have Boot Degale face to face.
But Boot is a lot taller. Not that that means anything. But Boot's a big guy.
He's a big guy. He's a big guy.
Big guy.
He's a big guy. Obviously, Carl Froch already came out and said James Degale won't beat him like I beat him.
Won't.
You won't. You won't. Different styles of fighters. You know what I mean? Each 2 fighters don't have the same attributes. But
I love that performance. I've watched that fight 1,000 times. Carl Froch, Boot, beautiful.
But James Degale, like I said before, if Boot does feel refreshed and will come out, I think we could get an entertaining fight. You think it's going to be a blowout?
Complete. I'm not saying anything from Butte in years. Plus, I like to see how he gets down to the weight as well.
Yeah.
This guy that's done fighting at the last 175 since the Carl Froch loss. I just feel like I've said it already. Ryan loves these kind of nostalgic old fighters.
I'm just saying.
I think Degale's riding a wave right now, and although it's in Butte's hometown, and Butte did say one thing: I've never lost in my hometown.
Yeah.
That's what he said, and I don't know if that's true, but he said that. So. You never know. And it's a belt he said he had for several years. So he's got a few kind of points to kind of chase at. But right now we're talking about the second best super middleweight in the world in Degale. And it's only because I think Andre Ward is that good.
Yeah.
And I think Degale's just too good, too fast, too young, too a bit everything to be honest right now.
No, I think Degale is definitely on the up. I think Degale is the better fighter as it stands right now. I think Degale's going to win. But I'm just saying, looking at the fight, like I said, as a bigger, the actual fight and what each person brings to the ring, I think it could be entertaining.
Talking about Degale, George Groves is talking a lot.
Yeah.
He's in his interviews, he is really talking a lot right now.
After deleting his Twitter account.
Yeah, now it's like, okay, I want to speak to the world again right now.
He wants Robert McCracken to be his trainer.
Yeah, he says if you can't beat him, join him. And I like that sentence, if you can't beat him, join him, but I think you can only work with what you've been given, and Robert McCracken and George Groves, I don't think that's a fit.
Nah, so I tell you, I think, again, I don't want to talk about Carl Frost, not Carl Frost, but I think Carl Frost must be laughing inside thinking, he wants my trainer now because I whooped his ass.
Twice.
Yeah.
George Groves did make one point though, he said, look, boxing, the cycles come around so quick. He said a year ago, I was on top.
Yeah.
I was the one setting up Wembley. He said, and he was fighting in Blue Water.
Yeah.
He said, look at it now. He said, well done to Degale, it's changed. So he said, 6-7 months time, you guys never know where it's going to be again, and it's a fair point because it really has reversed between those two, so it can go again.
I tell you what, one of my biggest mismatches one of the biggest misses in boxing for me of our era was it must be Juma Lopez versus bloody Gamboa, and they were waiting, and it just never happened because.
Well, to be fair, these guys have fought.
Yeah. I'm just saying though. Sometimes you got to strike the iron when it's hot. You know. Okay.
Gamboa would have kicked his ass.
Yeah, but I think saying that though, Lopez could punch though. I think Lopez could put him down.
Gamboa was a steroid machine.
I think that would have been a tremendous fight, bro.
IVs, blood tests, everything would have been done before that fight. I'm saying that because they're saying that both of those are suspect for me. Boy. Anyway, move
on. Rigo, he may be stripped of his WBO title for being inactive. The WBO sent him a letter and basically saying that please explain to us why you haven't been fighting.
Wait, because no one wants to fight me. Yeah. What are you supposed to do?
To be fair to the WBO though, they said we haven't forced you on any mandatory. We haven't put you in a position, but you haven't been fighting. Where do you stand right now?
That's a very good point you make about the mandatories.
Yeah.
Because as much as I say, because no one wants to fight him, he does have mandatories. There might not be the marquee names that he wants to fight in terms of the money, but surely there's mandatories for him to fight.
The WBO haven't pushed it. They haven't pushed it or forced it because they know what's going on. But obviously, he's now out of promoter. Yeah. Apparently, he's talking to Cameron Duncan and Al Heyman to get onto something. But even if he does get onto something, one, he needs to get paid. He's getting on.
Yeah.
And two, if he signs a contract now, when is he going to fight? December, January?
Keep going.
He's going to get stripped.
He ain't fighting probably till May.
Yeah. You know, if he gets stripped, he ain't getting a title again. Who's going to fight him?
Yeah, it's true. You know the worst thing for him is that I'm free, I'm on the open market, take me. No takers?
Yeah.
No one seems to come in like, boom.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, you think of any other sport, when you have a free agent of that high caliber in basketball or football, you are literally, you're going to have contracts kicking your door down. He's had, I mean, you just said, Cameron Duncan speaking to him and Al Hay. No one said sign that kid straight away, and that's a problem. I think he thought, getting out of this Gary Hines situation, he thought, my God, the doors are open. Doors are open. Even Matchroom, no one wants to sign.
I really thought that when when he became a free agent, I really thought that one of the world champions would pick him up cheap, get him because he's been inactive, get him because he's got a title, and get a marquee fight on, and no one has. Like you said, fighters don't want him, promoters don't want him, TV don't want him, and unfortunately, regardless how skillful you are, that's what pays your package, pays your bills.
Yeah.
Rumour has it that Porter Furman is close, very close for December. Really good fight. You talked about people getting match tough. If Furman Porter goes ahead and Porter wins, does that make Porter fighter of the year?
No. Broner Furman and his comeback. Nah. you don't. Hey, let's be honest. You're not high on Broner. So,
No.
so you can't give him plaudits for beating somebody you don't even like. No, yeah, so you're not high on Broner, and he beat a kid that I can't remember his name was.
Yeah.
So basically, you're saying one fight, Furman.
No, the reason why I'm saying that, one, who's been matched with two marquee names in the year, right, like this right now, and the stipulations. You can't weigh this, you got to do this, you got to that. They drained him down completely and he still won. Now I'm trying to say, when people talk about taking fights, Porter's taking fights. I'm trying to say, Porter's the only guy right now, legitimately at 147, that is taking on all comers, or wants to take on all comers. Furman's saying it, but if you look at who's Furman's fought in the past year, and look who's Porter's been fighting in the past year, Porter's won.
Yeah, no, right. I agree. There's an argument for it. It's so early to kind of, but there's an argument for it. Let's see where it all ends up, because at the end of the day, that's a big if he beats Furman. Do you know what I mean? It's a big if. I know you're high on Furman, so it's a big if.
Yeah. Just a quick bit, not discussion subject. Kovalev's out until 2016, which I think is a shock.
Yeah, and that kind of says where he stands right now, and it's a shame because they want the Ward fight, they want the Bird to be a fight, they want obviously Stevenson. No one wants to fight him. No one's fighting. What can you?
Yeah. They're also getting to fight in Russia, and
so frustrating.
Something's happened. I think that really hurts his brand for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, world champion on a high like that after coming off with a Hopkins win and looking devastating against Pacquiao, then you end up sitting out 6 months of the year, 7 months of the year for no reason.
This is when, and we gave Kathy Duva Promoter of the Year last year. This is when if you're with your promoter, you're thinking you need to sort something. I can't get out there and promote myself and get these fights. You should have got me Jürgen Bremer. Jürgen Bremer's fight Lustenhausen. You should have got me Bremer no matter what. You should have done that. And he would have gone to Germany and fought Bremer, by the way.
This is what we're talking about before with Frank Warren and Matchroom, where the landscape has changed. In America, with PBC and Aham saying all these fighters, it leaves Kathy Duva and the few independent promoters that actually got decent fighters in a very, very tough position.
I think she might have gone as far as she can go with Kovalev.
No, you get my point.
She's open. She's done the Hopkins. She's done the Pascal. She's done him the Cleverly. She's got as much names. But what next?
What next? The landscape has changed. It's very, very difficult for independent promoters. And in terms of the boxing business now, she's now a very small promoter.
Tiny. She's a tiny promoter that now has one marquee fighter.
She's a tiny promoter in a real big pond now. Because PBC is eating up everyone. Another quick bit. Zaloni Tete. The guy who beat Paul Butler with a potential knockout of the year. Ryan,
that would have been an episode for you of knockouts of the years. You've got so many knockouts of the years. It's scary, bro. Jeez, but it was a knockout. His leg bent backwards. Anyone with your leg bends backwards, it's quite damn.
It's got to sign Frank Warren.
Oh wow.
Basically the deal's done. It's all done. Apparently he's no longer world titleist.
Don't tell me he's been stripped.
His mandatory was a very low key mandatory. He opted for a different fight and they relinquished the belt. But he's signed with Frank Warren. He comes over here, fights over here. He's a very talented boxer. I would like to see a lot more of him.
No, I'd like to see a lot more of not him, but him. I'd like to see a lot more of our promoters signing other fighters, signing other country fighters. Why are we so fixated? I mean, I understand you need to sign British fighters, and I get that building, but. You know, GGG should have been over here. They pass us to go to America. Kovalev should be over here. I mean, they tried years ago with Protzka. He was a decent. Why are these fighters going all the way over there? Get them. You know what I mean? There's a lot of fighters you can get. All this sign local fighters. No, you can build some of these real big superstar fighters before they go to America. And I like Tete. He's been fighting.
I say my dad's a very
shame doesn't have the world title anymore though, because that kind of
it dampens
his brand a bit.
RocNation says GGG turned down our fight for Andre Ward in 36 minutes.
Okay.
This Andre Ward GGG beef is going back and forth. And I think I've got a good clarity when it comes to boxing and what goes on in boxing. Seriously, RocNation is now taking the mick now.
You said that like you're gonna tell them off.
No, taking the mick. Okay. Regardless of who you think is GGG gonna fight or Andre Ward's fought is not gonna fight, you can't offer someone a contract when they already had a fight set up. And they're saying, they're saying the fight was for 2016, early 2016, so he could have fought Lemieux and then fight us after. But this fight is already set up with the WBC that the winner of this fight gets mandatory and has to fight the winner of Canelo. Now, even though that might not happen for every reason, there's contracts in place.
Yes, agreed.
Why does RocNation think just because we offer you something, you have to take it and jump into between of a contract you already agreed with, which in basically is a 2-fight scale?
You know what's happened? RocNation have dipped their toes into the boxing world, which I don't mind. I like that. I like competition. But they've signed Andre Ward, and they've obviously made a mistake and signed the wrong person. They're supposed to sign Andre Durrell. They've signed someone that they thought could, get his own fights, could sell tickets, and then they thought, wait a minute, this guy can't really do any of this. GGG, at the time when GGG wanted the fight, wasn't a pay-per-view. Andre Ward was this so-called big star. Andre Ward, I don't know if I'm going 175, I don't know what I'm doing. GGG is now pay-per-view, and now all of a sudden you want that fight.
Exactly.
You didn't want that fight a couple of years back.
Why would you offer someone a fight you know they can't take? It's really, I'm saying, and boxing fans are jumping on it, saying, "Oh, GGG's ducking, GGG's ducking." It's like that's not a duck. That's just called a tactical. That's playing chess.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
That's silly now.
Yeah,
it's silly.
It's playing chess, and this is not GG. This is not about GG and Ward. It's not about their fight. I'm talking about the actual promotional aspect of it. It's like you just can't say something and that becomes a fact.
Yeah, no, I agree.
What makes it worse now is that RocNation is putting out the whole PR campaign saying, "Oh, we done this, we could have done that, we could have this, we could have done that, coulda, woulda, shoulda." It's too late.
Yeah. What it is now, if you're a GGG guy, you're thinking, well, wait a minute. If I beat Lemieux, they're all ifs and buts right now, but if I beat Lemieux and I'm getting 7 figures, it's supposed to be his first 7-figure fight, well done GGG. I don't know if Ward's got that, by the way, but well done GGG. And then if Canelo beats Cotto, it's a huge pay-per-view for me. Why am I going to even think of signing to fight Andre Ward when I can fight someone that's my weight, bigger money, more titles, more respect? Forget that.
And again, let's be fair. I'm trying to say, Andre Ward has not been active. Yeah. I mean, really, shouldn't RocNation be saying, look, Andre Ward, you need to fight on this bloody Cotto card and get your brand up? That's still not been announced. The Cotto fight is getting very, very close now. What, 5 weeks away? Yeah.
They can't get an opponent. That's the fact.
They
can't get an opponent for Andre Ward.
Why don't you focus on getting your fighter actually in the ring fighting a credible opponent, not Paul Smith?
I know he's available. Why don't RocNation send the contract to Kathy Duva and say, we've got Kovalev at 175, go and fight him, because the last time you fight was at 172.
No, there's rumours that Andre Ward's going to go up, he's going to have one fight at 168, then he's going to go up to 175.
I'll see, you don't mess me laugh. There's rumours that he's going to have one fight because he needs to test the water. Let GGG test the water first at 168 and see where you are. GGG's a small guy.
RocNation as a promoter should be focusing more and getting their fighters fights than saying that erroneous press statements.
Oh, nice word.
You know what I mean?
Jeez. Not that you're from Hackney and you don't know nice words, but that's a big word you just used there. No, I like it. It's going to go on for a while. It's a fight that I don't ever think is going to happen, by the way, either. I didn't realise how small GGG was, but obviously he's a tiny guy. And Ward's a big guy. I think Ward should be fighting Kovalev at 175, but we'll see. I know people are going to say, well, GGG wants to fight Floyd Mayweather. But GGG saying he'll go down to fight Mayweather at 154. That's the difference. You know what I mean? GGG could not make 168. I mean, he can make it, obviously, but he's not a big guy at 168, he's a tiny at 168. What fight's the next week? It's not GGG next week, is it? That's the 23rd. No, it's the 23rd.
No, the 17th.
GGG's the 17th? Oh, wow. Bloody hell. So it's GGG.
At your house?
Yep, at my house.
There we go.
Yep. I did say GGG was smoking. I still think he will smoke him. Just don't know if it was been there early as I said it would be.
Guys, just to give a quick message. Everyone, thanks for messaging Boxtalk last night on Twitter. On Facebook and everything. Unfortunately, I don't respond to messages while I'm watching boxing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you do send me any messages in boxing, when boxing's on, you'll get a response the following day. Yeah. So
Lee Selby's fighting on Wednesday. Is it this Wednesday?
Wednesday,
Lee Selby?
Lee Selby's this Wednesday.
Yeah. So good luck to Lee Selby against Fernando Montiel. But then the big man GGG versus David Wood.
And from Farah Kevy, I think it's this week as well.
It's next week. It's Saturday as well.
We need to try to film that today or tomorrow.
Yeah. That's what we can do.
Yeah.
We'll get that film out. We're going to definitely get some Farah out. 100% we'll do it. And I still want to get Devin Alexandra. I know it's fights only in a few days, but I still want to get that video out.
Aaron Martinez.
Yeah, it's a good fight.
Yeah, it's not a bad fight.
If we can't get it out, then quickly give me your predictions on that. If we're not going to get a video out of it.
Alexander points boring.
What's happened to Alexander?
Alexander.
He's been beaten up.
Yeah. Alexander.
You know, I'll add my point. You can say yours very quickly. I think he's weak mentally.
Yeah, about to say it. Alexander's good when the going's good.
Yeah.
When the going gets tough or things like that, he doesn't handle well under pressure.
I've seen it now.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen it with 3 fights.
Yeah.
You know, the thing for me is that he's lost to 3 marquee guys at 147. I don't know if you come back from that.
For his tremendous build and his attitude, the way he talks and say what he's going to do, he has 0 punching power at the highest level.
Yeah, Bradley's problem, innit?
Yeah, he has 0 punching power.
Best physique in the world.
So he starts looking good and starting, but when he starts getting tired and he can't get you out of there or he can't do nothing with you, he gets discouraged.
Do you think he got overly hyped because of that Wanyarango knockout years ago?
Yes, that was a body shot, innit?
Yeah, no, head and body. I think body then knocked him down with the uppercut, I think. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Knocked out the body shot and hit the,
And I think maybe he got overhyped about that.
And I think also as well, honestly and truly, that when you look at someone's career as their whole career, no, you can't review someone's career until they've actually retired and look at everything. I think the Bradley fight was his last hurrah.
Yeah.
From the Bradley fight, and we actually saw the deficiencies. Yeah.
Him kind of.
He's never. He kind of
the same. Didn't want it after that. He was like, you can't fight. Yeah, I don't really.
Yeah. He's never really been the toughest mentally. Give credit's due.
Yeah.
He's a tremendously talented boxer.
Yeah.
He's a former world champion. Yeah. Given what he's achieved a lot in his career. He's just not going to achieve Hall of Fame status.
Is he still top 10?
I can have him more of a gatekeeper, like top 10-ish. Top 10, top 11, you beat him and you're definitely top 10.
Yeah. Should someone like, is it too risky then for someone like Errol Spence to take him?
No, Errol Spence should take him.
Now?
Yeah,
Get him now.
Take him now.
Yeah.
And again, it's a fight that Azam looked good for about 4 rounds, 5 rounds, and then Azam we don't want no part of it after that.
Alright, there you go guys. Thanks a lot for watching again. Remember, tune in. What videos we're going to do this week? 100% Cleverly from Farah.
Yeah.
100% Cleverly from Farah and some others. There's loads of fights coming. Brooke Shabs.
Yeah, we're going to do that for sure this week.
Yeah.
And we've got some mythicals to do.
Yeah.
And we've got the best of the 70s.
Muhammad Ali, number 1. Alright, there you go. 70s done. There you go.